And a very good morning. Welcome to everybody. It's good to have you all here today. Welcome to another stream on the Apex Brotherhood live stream, the official channel where success is the only option. It's good to have you here this morning on this fine day. If I can put it up, don't know if it'll come up. It's Friday, the 22nd of May 2026. So good to see you all this morning. Just checking in that the sound is all good and that you can hear me, as something's not right again with the settings. I don't know what's going on. It's not me, and I can't blame Evan this time because he's still not back, but hopefully will be very soon. So I will turn down the music, it's very loud. And I'll just check my microphone is bouncing, it looks to be, so it looks like we're all good. It looks like we're all good. So, yeah, what is today? Now, apologise for all the jumping around, I'm having issues sharing this camera on my settings, but we'll have a look at this. First of all, for the news, we'll go into the news. Okay, so this morning it is officially Friday the 22nd of May. It's just after 8 AM London time, and here is the Apex Brotherhood news. It's Bitcoin Pizza Day. So on this day, and on May the 22nd, 2010, so 16 years ago, Florida-based programmer Laszlo Hanyecz made the very first documented commercial transaction using Bitcoin. He successfully traded 10,000 Bitcoin, worth about $41 at the time, to have 2 Papa John's pizzas delivered to his home. Now imagine hodling these 10,000 Bitcoin and what they would be worth today. I can't even work it out, but what are we at on Bitcoin at the moment? It's something like $79,000, $78,000, something like that. 10,000 times that, that's a lot of money. He didn't actually buy them directly. He basically traded, as it says there. He sent the 10,000 Bitcoin to another person who then spent real money ordering the pizzas to be delivered by Papa John's. But it's Bitcoin Pizza Day, so happy Bitcoin Pizza Day to everybody. On the economic calendar today, looking at the high impact news on babypips.com, we have already had Japanese inflation rate year on year, and we've already had pound news at 7 AM. Big drop there, retail sales month on month 1.3% down, and German consumer confidence also came in at minus 29.8, so a drop in consumer confidence in Germany. Going into the rest of the day, 9 AM, we have Euronews with the German business climate at 9, and consumer sentiment index from University of Michigan. United States dollar news at 1500 hours, 3 PM London time. All times are in London time. Going into next week, we'll just have a quick look at Monday as we go into the weekend and check, because I do believe it's a holiday in the United States on Monday, Memorial Day. As you can see, all my resources are being consumed, and I don't even have Gemini on this morning. What are we saying here? Why is there nothing coming up there? I've filtered too much. That's high impact, that's why. Let's choose them all. Let's choose them all. Yeah, so Monday the 25th of May, it's a late spring bank holiday or early summer bank. Yeah, there we go. Spring bank holiday. Also in the UK bank holiday. Also in France and Europe. Memorial Day in the States. So get out your positions now, guys. Have the day off. Don't get caught in a Friday going into a holiday and all hell breaks loose over the weekend and you're not in control. So that's what we have on Monday, so be aware of that. What's happening on First Squawk? Any news that's coming in fresh at the moment? Let's have a look. Navigation of the Strait of Hormuz is important. Freedom, NATO Secretary General. So there is moves afoot that Europe may be starting to look to get the Strait opened, if it's not done by the end of this month. So there's your news over the weekend, potentially. Pakistan may discuss Middle East conflict with China leaders. Looks like China's the divorce or relationship counselor of the world. They are becoming the leaders of the free world, apparently. There's that contradiction in terms. Not many places free these days. The pound in your pocket is holding everyone a prisoner in one way or another. What else have we got here? Pakistan's interior minister in Tehran for negotiations. So negotiations are looking more positive than they have done for a while. Will the markets trust that that's true and accurate news, as things can turn on a knife edge? Iran may be planning a surprise missile and drone attack against Israel and Persian Gulf states. Yeah, Iran are saying that attack us again, and this will become a much wider conflict. Gulf states and the Arabian nations, along with Israel, wouldn't be new targets, I suppose, but I don't know how much wider the Iranians can take their defence of their country if being attacked by one of their neighbours and a coalition involving the United States. So, who knows? Be aware. It's given us good volatility. Make sure you're on the right side of it and get those profits locked in. Donald Trump, what has the president been saying today? Not a lot. Nothing's loading up because of my resources. I did have a full reboot of the computer just to keep it nice and fresh this morning, but it's not caught up yet. So basically, well, that sounds like something a playground child would say. If Iran surrenders and admits that their navy is gone and resting at the bottom of the sea and their air force is no longer with us, and if their entire military walks out of Tehran, weapons dropped and hands held high, each shouting, I surrender, while wildly waving. Well, yeah, it doesn't sound very rational to me, but nothing too aggravating, just childish rantings. Let's go into the... That's it. That's the news. That is the news. That is the news for today. Let's see if I can get my camera back up, because I don't know why I'm disappearing. Or we'll just put my screen up. Let's just try and put my screen up if I can. And by going to this screen here. Let's see how that... Yeah, that's me now. So, do we have music anymore? Do we have voice anymore? We've only got my voice, no music. Okay, let's get the music on in the background. And we will chill to that as we... Yeah, there's the music. Let me know if it's too loud. I've got it volume 3, I think, is normally the sweet spot for music. So the dark glasses today, I had a few pints last night. Not too many, because I'm not big drinking at all really at the moment, and don't really drink at all. That was an exception last night to go out. So I'm feeling a little bit tender today. A little bit tender. So I do have a few things on today. I need to get organised. I can't let excess prevent progress. You do have to have a day off sometimes, but I think I'll join the guys later. If you are interested in socialising as well as trading, we are having a game of Repo after the stream this morning, if all goes to plan. I only plan to be for about an hour, and then I need to shoot off. However, if you would like to join and do things like that, the link is in the description for the Apex Brotherhood Discord community. Do join us. There's a small monthly charge. It's worth every penny, and join us for games like Repo. So, I'd like to say good morning to MGN Thalantier first, as always. Good to have you on this morning. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for watching the stream. Thanks for your support. It'll be good to catch up. Hopefully you are in for the Repo at 9ish UK time. And good morning to Alex Orodex. Good morning, Scott. That's good to see you this morning. Alex, nice to have you. Thanks for tuning in and seeing what's what with the Apex Brotherhood in the news. What else do we have today? What else do we have on the plan? Will, I think, is at the gym, so he should be joining me later on this morning. And we'll also have a look at the charts. I've still not traded, as I say. My 100 to 1000 challenge is taking a big hit. It looks like I'll have to reset it and start again after connecting my gold account last week when gold was looking peachy. It didn't give the account the recovery that I believed it was. And also we have to be conscious that was that revenge trading by connecting gold to a small account like that. Gold requires leverage, space, and getting the direction right, because if you're wrong and you give it too much space, it's an account killer. So do be careful in the gold, guys. El Gordo was asking about the sunglasses. Yeah, sunglasses are really just to break me into the day gently. As I was out with my friend last night, a game of pool and a chat about trading, and that's we'll cover some of what came up in the conversation. He doesn't like to hear about trading, as many people know as traders. Your interest and passion for the charts is often not shared by others, and because of the gamifying of the industry that we know is prevalent, and the attraction of youth to the Lamborghinis and the Dubai villas and the Bugatti runs with the beautiful women, we know that's a rarity and not anything like the norm of, we do know, and we have got a number of successful traders in our midst, and we know that there's aspiration to live a better life, sure, there's aspiration to have finer things, correct, but it's not all about flaunting nonsense symbols of being rich. And some people, people do assume that that's what you're looking for and dismiss it and tell you things that you're delusional and things like that. And that if you think you're going to be one of the 2% or the 1%, that's, what makes you that 1%? Well, to be fair, you've got to make yourself that 1%. You've got to have the persistence, the drive, the methodical, intense scrutiny of you and your psychology and your strategy, and hone that and push it and learn from all the mistakes that you make. Every trader that's successful always speaks about how they made a complete mess of it at some point, and that's how they've progressed and become better. So yeah, we had a conversation about that, and to be fair, as I alluded to yesterday, an MGN put the seed in my head during the week, was that, are you wasting time? Are you wasting time? Some of us might be wasting time, but you don't know if you're wasting time until you've wasted it and not achieved the success that you're striving for. So I suppose there's balance there. My other mate's saying, like Elon Musk, if you've got a 10-year plan, do it in the next 6 months, or aim to do it in the next 6 months. Yeah, you're going to fail, but you're going to be a hell of a lot further ahead of where you would have been if you think you've got 10 years to do something. But if you try and do 10 years worth of work in 6 months, you're going to make a lot of progress. That's for sure. Whether or not you succeed to the end or not, which is highly unlikely, but get the drive to do it and try it. Not maybe a good strategy in trading, as I think I said yesterday. Slow and steady and patience is probably key too. But yeah, there's a lot to be said. As I say, balance and what you would expect to your expectations of what you want tomorrow can hold you back today, and you do have to balance it out and work out what's important in your life now, and don't let things like trading take over it. Have fun, be cautious, manage your risk, and just make progress is probably good advice. Anyway, who else have we got on the comments this morning? I should really read these comments before I bring them up on screen, as there is going to be one that appears one day that I don't want to read, and I'm going to have to gloss over it. Anyway, Scott ended up having a very deep look into his beer glass, hence the sunglasses. Correct. Hans Gunter Butler, good to see you this morning. Richard, eh? No, you're Rich. Richard, yeah. There's too many Richies that we know, so it's good to have you. The sunglasses, yeah, that's just keeping me sane this morning. I might have to swap them for my actual glasses when I start having a look at the charts and see what's happening on the markets today. But I now don't want to take them off now that they're on. So we've also got Martin I. Welcome, Martin. Good to have you on this morning. Not seen you for a couple of days, but good to have you back on this last day of the week as we head into the weekend. Does anyone have anything exciting on this weekend? Because I don't. I'm working for 2 days. Great. That's it. Back to real low paid work. I'm going to be doing that over this weekend. I do have fun though. I work with a great bunch of guys, and it's good to get in and see everybody, because I'm not in very often as I make the journey to becoming a full-time profitable trader who has financial freedom. Orodex was listening to my what sounded like a pub rant. Was that a pub rant or a pub theocracy? I don't know. As we thanks for listening anyway. All true. Everything I say is true. That's why you're all tuned in today and listening. So again, let's have a look at the markets. I'm going to have a rehydrating sip of my water. So, as I say, I've not traded. I think if I look at the last trade on this account, this was back on the 13th of May. So that is now 9 days ago. So beginning of last week, and yeah, I took a little bit of that drawdown that initially put my 100 to 1000 account into drawdown, and I decided to review my strategy and improve my journaling, and that journey, as I say, took me into coding the EA on Gemini Pro, and it's hard work. That's several days now of EA coding through AI doing it for me, because I don't have a clue where to start with coding. But it's getting there, I've got to say. I've simplified. I was trying to make it trade like me, which is complicated. So I've simplified it right down into some key rules and different types of entry, and it's actually improving the strategy as I go. And if the EA can do it, it's still not getting its swing highs and swing lows correct for managing these as either target points within them or stop points after them, or points of getting out if they're touched, kind of thing. You've got the different scenarios and different situations with different key levels and areas of the chart that you need to then explain. How do you explain to an AI what's the last swing high? Is it the one at the beginning of the current leg, or is it the one at the beginning of the upper leg, and what about the swing highs in between the current high of the current leg and the high of the highest high, you know. Yeah, anyway, yeah, you see what I mean. It does get complicated to explain, but you can actually do things like upload a chart and say, right, these are what I consider to be the highs, so, and mark them off and say, interpret what I'm showing you to be the highs, and code something to fractally recognize that through mathematics. Interesting, maybe not for some, but it's good. I'm actually quite impressed with what it can do. Right, let's get rid of some of these markings on here, and we'll have a look at euro dollar this morning as we go further into the hour. Okay, so let's have a look. We've got our objects. Let's just delete them all. Delete all. Yep, there we go. That's deleted everything, but all the indicators should come back if I do that. Excellent. Right, we've got a nice cleanish chart. We've got our Bolly band on there. We've got our 200 moving average, which I don't really use, but I did watch someone who has a lot of valid information on trading, not just clickbait nonsense. And I think the 200 moving average is one of the most successful indicators in giving edge, i.e. prices above it. Longs, prices below it. Shorts, you can see that's kind of working there, obviously not during the range, where you could be on both sides of it, but the Bolly is certainly telling us where it's turning on that range. Also the MACD is telling us it's turning on the different bounces of that range, but only to the point that it's already turned and it's well underway and almost at the bottom of the down leg, so it's very laggy by the looks of that. And in combination with the RSI, yeah, a little bit late as well, looking at the overbought areas on the RSI. Well, right on it, kind of, yeah, right on it. So good for a range if you're using oscillators to identify the tops and the bottoms. Not quite again. I've got my RSI set at, well, I can't see that there, 75 and 25. Is that right? Oh no, 80 and 20. 80 and 20. So you can use 90. You can go above 85, 90 if you want to just get the extremes of the extremes. This indicator's nice because it changes colour when it's got a touch or a close into the overbought or oversold areas. So it just gives that visual nicety of drawing your attention and knowing that the price is in that zone. So I'm going to see what euro dollar is doing today. We did say we had euro news today, didn't we? Was that at 9 o'clock? Let me just check. So be wary. I'll just go back to my news filter on the other screen. I think it was 9. I should really listen to what I'm saying. Okay, yeah, filter out the, 9 o'clock, German business climate. So we'll be aware of that. As I say, I'm not going to be trading today. I do fully intend to join Q Hosting and our friend 50Cal in their doubling challenge of $10 down, double it to 20, and so on till we get to 10,000. It's a bit like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, but you can put the edge in your favour because just wait on those high probability setups coming up. You know, you're going to get stopped out at 15% probably, depending on your broker. So you'll have £1.50 left if your first trade fails, £3 left. Your second trade fails, so it's got to be a 2-to-1 basically on the risk, or less than 2-to-1, more than 2-to-1, sorry, 2 point whatever to 1. Is that correct, or is that 1-to-1? No, it'd be 1-to-1 because a tenner to make a tenner, or tenner to lose 850. So whatever that works out in ratio of risk. But high probability, one trade a day, as Q was saying, that's possibly the way to learn a lesson in trading rather than a way to trade. It's not a sustainable way to trade, but it's possibly a way to learn a lesson for the price of a tenner. And if you're right 10 times, you've got 10,000 bucks. Not encouraging gambling, but as Hans Gunther Butler is saying, it is basically martingaling. Well, is it Martin? It's martingaling if you double up after you lose. Is that correct? So, yeah, but you've only got a tenner. You've only got a tenner to start. So, if you're out on the first trade and it doesn't go your way, you're not putting 20 in to start. You're waiting a week and starting, or whatever you can afford. You know, I spend £10 a week on the lottery, so there's much better odds of taking 10 successful trades if you're waiting on those high probability setups than there is of putting your pound on the lottery to win a jackpot level prize, which is something like, the actual jackpot is something like 15 million. Would that be correct? Or more? It might even be more. It might be 45 or 50. Yeah, something like that. It's like 50 million to 1, whereas there's much greater chance if you're a trader to do that. But the difficult point comes when you're doubling 5,000 or not to get 10, or left with 0 at that point. So no, not Hans is saying not double after the loss. No, after the loss you're done. You're going back to the start. If you don't do it at that point, it's over. That's I believe the rule. I don't know what was the other rule. Trailing stops. Yeah, we're allowed to have a trailing stop or a pull to break even on a certain profit level being reached to protect it. So you could have. We're not saying you only have to take 10 trades. What we're saying is you have to get to the 10,000 and 10 successful trades. So you could pull it to break even 500 times, and you've not made you pull it to break even on your first trade and it goes back and it stops you out at 0. Then as long as there's no commission or spread account for that, you will be left with your original 10. So that's not a profitable trade. It's 10 profitable trades to $10,000. I think I would struggle at the $600 stage, maybe the $1,200 stage. At that point, you just kind of want to keep it, But if you've committed to the journey and the competition, then you've got to do it. But yeah, it's still only a tenner from the start that you can potentially lose. Not encouraging this. Not encouraging this. Only do it if you feel like you want to have a little bit of educational journeyism. So back to the charts. If you want to join us, Richard, please drop into the Discord and we can chat on what's happening. Q hosting has already started, and he, I believe, at the last count was up to, was it $600? I think rough. Is that right? 650. I think he had gone a little past his profit targets. He was slightly over what you would expect if you were just doing a straight doubling. So, interesting. Unfortunately, I'm actually working a lot next week, so it might not be the best day to start it. But Monday I'm off, but it's a holiday, so not the best day to start it either. Yeah, they've given me holiday. I'm working Saturday, Sunday, off the holiday Monday, where I would have got double time, and then back Tuesday, Wednesday. So I'll be sort of 5 days off the holiday. Yeah, so it probably will be. I'll maybe do my first trade live next time I'm on here, which will be Thursday of next week, as I'm not free until then. And Monday, I think Monday, hopefully Monday's a holiday. Will's not mentioned if I've got the day off on Monday from the stream, but I'm not going to be here, so I'm sure that's all sorted. Right, okay, euro dollar. Right, hands, yeah. That's exactly 10, yeah, that's exactly it. What I would say would take your tenner back at 640, so take 15 out. Take 15 quid or dollars out the pot at the 640 stage there, and then you've got a straight double to 1250, 1250, 2500, 5000, 10,000. So yeah, that would be the progression chart exactly there. So you're risk free. Well, you're risk free. Yeah, you'll be risk free after, what trade is that? So the first trade to 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. On your sixth trade, you take your money, your stake back. So sixth trade, you're risk free and your money's out. And then it's just purely free money after that. Or is it? It's not. Because if you lose that, you had it. That's the psychological barrier to overcome. You know, if you take that seventh trade from 640 or 625 to 1250, then that's my tactic. That's what I'm going to do. The guys can do it differently if they want, but that is a psychological barrier there, right there at that point where you've got your tenner back. You're not losing anything, but you are, because you've got it. You've got the 625s in the bank. It's on the table. But if you don't, you've got to speculate to accumulate, as I say. Bold decisions. So that's the choice. That's the choice that we've all got. Has the music gone off? I don't hear it anymore. It's gone off. It must have stopped. Oh, it's maybe not in the loop. Yeah, it stopped after it's an 18-minute loop. I do plan to update the music. I'm quite enjoying the music. It's quite chill. But I think I like a lot of the AI generated kind of trading based stuff. A little bit upbeat. See that on maybe some of the Evans streams. He is an AI music composer. So he has got his own tracks that he's made, and some of them are pretty good. And I've heard a few others around about the trading space, and some of them are excellent. Some of these are very good. So, sorry, keeping up with Richard. So try this. Every 4 steps, you remove half. Yeah, well, yeah. So at 80, you remove 40. You leave with 40. You continue. You continue with the doubling. Your next cut is at 320. You cut 160, and so on and so forth. So at 80, you remove 40, leaving with 40. Then you double that. Okay, yeah. I mean, that is a good tactic. At the back of my head, I'm thinking hedge in the background, doing effectively the same thing, and then at least when you get to but then you're putting in more than a tenner then, of course. But you could hedge in the background doing that half if you're wrong type thing, so that even when you get to, and that would of course depending on how you hedge, you're obviously going to favour and put your edge onto your trade that you're taking, but you can also hedge against it to a lesser degree, as you say, take kind of half out, whether you're right or wrong, and then you get to the point where you're the last trade where you either go from 5,000 to 10,000, or if you've hedged and supplemented in the background, you could also that loss would result in a seven-ish thousand win on the trade against, if you're using half your stake. Yeah. Anyway, there's lots of ways to do it, and I dare say that's what some of these naughty people are up to when they try and do things they're not supposed to, and upset the prop firm trading space as well, by lots of accounts, etc., etc. So yeah, so when you cut, you are locking up something during a long journey. Yeah, that's true. I think it's the same with trading as well. When you're trying to compound your account, to keep all the money locked up in the account and have it all at risk, it's not very sensible. At some point, you've got to, reward yourself with something a little bit from your profits when you're making them, as opposed to just potentially keeping that risk on the table as it goes forward, and it's a bad trade takes it away. Take a little bit of something as you go, especially in a long journey. So Rich is also saying, even if you lock up the initial risk of 10, you're going to feel the impact of the inflated amount as you get to the higher amounts. Exactly that, and I think that's my tactic. I wouldn't have shared it, or would have just kept it as the thing that's keeping my psychology in check, by knowing that even a loss of 5,000 is still a gain of 2,000 in the background, depending on. But again, it's more risk. You're then introducing more risk to your first 3 trades probably before you're risk free. So yeah, Rich is saying, risking 2,000 to 560 after only locking up the 10 is going to impact you emotionally. Exactly. Just as I was saying there, if you're bolstering your trades with additional trades in the background, but also hedging that as well, so that then in the event of it going against you, it's still locked, and halving what you're making in the background into the trades. You know what I mean? It's a complicated way to explain it, but I know you'll get it, Rich, and maybe if I put it on a graphic, that would make it easier for some to understand. But we're all traders and we can grasp that concept. So no, definitely, and it's good. Not everyone has come up with that, Rich, as a tactic. So I'm glad to see that we're all kind of thinking along those lines on how to deal with what is not a flip of the coin. It's not a flip of the coin. It's not red or black. It's not even the favours and on the side of the house for this one. It's the favour and the edge is on your side because of your trading analysis and careful patience and waiting to take the trades that's going to win or lose. Okay, so morning to Pulley, morning Top Gun and chat. Yes, yeah, I think I might stick with this look actually. It's maybe a little bit of an improvement as well, even when I don't have a hangover. So and Rich is saying, Pulley, my online daddy. Yeah, Pulley was saying yesterday how Will was his online son. So that makes you and Will brothers of sorts, I suppose. Yeah, Pulley, it does sound whatever you're going to say wrong. Yeah. I shouldn't. I did say I need to screen Pulley's messages, even more scrutiny on them than everybody else. But he's also saying morning, Rich. So it's good to have Pulley in as well. Welcome to everybody. The gang is all together. Let's look at the charts. We're getting too into this $10 to 10,000 chat. But if you're interested in taking part in that, do join us in the Discord, because 50cal Q hosting are in on it. Will seemed to be quite interested in having a shot. He's doing fantastically on his 100 to 1,000 challenge. Seems pathetic, really, 100 to 1,000 when you've been talking about 10 to 10,000. 100 to 1,000 does teach you 100 to 1,000 does teach you a lot in terms of your trading. When I started it initially, my trading improved tenfold. You know, it was unbelievable. And then the bad habits crept back in, and that's why I've decided not to proceed with it until I lock up my journaling, because I can then identify where it keeps happening and try and avoid it for the future. Pulley is saying, I'd never stitch you up, Scott. Those type of comments are reserved for Will and Rich. Quite right. When Will and Rich are on the stream, yeah, just get stuck right into them. But thanks for saving me, Pulley. Appreciate it. Good guys stick together, don't we, Pools? Cheers. And in response, I'm going to just be reading out messages here. 10 times is nothing to scoff at me. It's not, no. 10 times is a fantastic, you know, a bank wouldn't give you 10 times your money in, well, not in a year, not in 10 years they would. Yeah, I don't know how long it would take to multiply your money by 10 if you, even at 5% interest APR. Those comments are sorely missed, Pools, yeah. Yeah, I remember some of the low bowlers back from the, was it London Live trading floor, LLTF, and early days of the Apex Brotherhood. Now, Apex Brotherhood must have been going, is that a year now? After London Live trading floor, it did take a little bit of time for me to find you guys again, and then I kind of just dropped in and out, as I didn't really trade last year between June and December. I kind of just started again this year. Yep. Pulley does enjoy a comment. It does still have some good comments in the chat as well in Discord. Yeah, those were the days. September 2025. Okay, so that's not that long ago. Not even a year. Where are we just now? We're in May, so we've got June, July, August, September. Still 4 months to go to the first anniversary. So, let's have a look at the charts. Okay, Euro USD. What's it doing today? Now, I am feeling a little bit rusty, so we'll have a look. Well, we can see we've had a nice big up leg here. It's peaked out here with this kind of double top. Can you see that? I did on my last computer, I had a big black cursor, extra large, that showed up a lot better for doing things like online work and showing people charts. But this one, yeah, I'll maybe need to get my big black one looked back out and applied to the chart. So what we've got here, we've then got this catastrophic drop on the, looks like the beginning of the weekly open, that would be, I'm guessing. 17th, yeah, that'd be, yeah, that's 17th and the 20th, so yeah, that's the beginning of this week. So we've got a catastrophic drop on the Friday late trading. For the Monday open, it's come right, gapped down, spiked down, and the gap's been filled. Then we've kind of ranged during the beginning part of the week, and then we've hit a big down leg here. Are we hitting any levels looking along to the chart? Yeah, well, we're filling this big overextended candle here. I like my imbalances. I'm not using the term fair value gap anymore. It triggers a lot of people. So, and it's an imbalance. We'll call it an imbalance. So it's filled that. Not quite to the pit, but the little candle below had a gap as well, and it's almost filled that to, not to the pip, but how much is in it? 6 pips. It's gone over it by 6 pips, and it's currently not hitting this low, so there's still room to the downside to come down to these lows here. Our next low would be around about here. We still have this fair value gap, which is the ADR, average daily range low of 14. Well, that's the 14 on the H1. Well, let's have a look. Yeah, ADR low is there. Where is it in there? In the hourly, 1.55. So yeah, if it's going to keep going down, it does look like it's stalled here. Tried again, stalled here. We're getting lower highs. Are we getting lower lows? It's not really like that, breaking that low there, and it's spiked, so it could be done. Could be done, but there is room to the downside if it's continuing down. Let's just have a quick look at the daily, and we'll see all these red candles from that down move in the last few days. One green one there, just breaking that trend. So we got another red candle today after that big spike yesterday. It's still looking down on the MACD. It's not quite gone into oversold on the RSI. So the higher time frames are still saying there's a bit of pressure down the way. The Bolly is, well, the flare stopped as we stand at the moment on the price move so far today. Is it breaking that 200 moving average? It's on it. It would need to go below it. Yeah, it looks like it's down but stalled, and we can tell by that price action at the bottom here that the down move is thinking about being over. Let's put a fib on the chart just to see where it went to. So it went, that was the first down move there, and then of course, as we know, our fibs, I'll need to get big, oh, you can't see the edge of that fib. Basically, if you can see that fib on the chart there, it has got to this low here on that down leg, that considerable down leg. Look at that, it's all down. A little bit of a delay in the middle there. And it's come back and it's reacted right on that 23 of the fib on the retracement, and then it's come down again. Did it reach the 127 extension at the bottom? Not really. Not really, and it's not really come back to the 23 there. It looks like it's gone into a downward kind of wedge shape there. If we can, I don't really use, what do you call these, trend lines or whatever, but I suppose you could say there's a wedge forming of some sort. So, it does look like it's wanting to bottom out there. What's the MACD telling us on the 4 hour? Telling us it's kind of turned. It's been in the overbought, so it's turning, but it's resisting the 50 on the RSI here. It's not knowing whether it's going to turn bullish again, but it's looking bullish, I've got to say. It's turned bullish. It's turned. What's the lower time frames telling us? Let's get rid of these. It's almost time for us to go. Okay, so daily's telling us down, but it could keep going down, but it's at an end. Price action's telling us it's down, been down, but it's at an end because of this retrace here. It's now taking this 33. It'll probably want to come back to the 38, to the 50. And what do we have in at the 38 to the 50? We have fair value. Oh, I'm not going to use that word. We have imbalance here caused by the down move here. So there's that imbalance will want to be filled. It might just go to there first, as it normally does, and takes a rally to there and then bases out again. Is that a rally base rally? Back up. Is that rally base rally? Or drop base drop? Is that what? So, down to the hour. So we're saying 4 hours turned up. Oh, it's always the same at this time in the morning, but it's in the middle here. Histogram's tiny. There's not much momentum in either direction. It's just faffing around between cross and cross. Slightly down. It's slightly down at the moment. Just down on the RSI. The Bolly's flattening out. It's not broken convincingly through the 50 on the Bolly. It is, however, below the 200 moving average on that. So, and on the 4. So we're kind of down. We're kind of down. The central pivot range, which is the average of previous daily high, previous daily low, and the daily close, I believe. So that's resisting that just now, you know. I mean, till it moves convincingly towards R1 or convincingly towards S1, and you've got that momentum and strength. Just looking at my strength indicators, momentum indicators, there's none. There's zero strength or momentum in. Or hang on, let me just refresh that. It could just be the indicators not caught up with the lag and having too many charts doing stuff. Now there is none. There's, you know, momentum that's slightly down at the moment with a momentum that you wouldn't be interested in trading, and it's slightly down strength. In fact, the strength of the euro and the dollar at the moment are sliding along equal to each other. So there's zero movement there. This could be pre-holiday market, it could be pre-market London market conditions, but there is nothing there to trade for me. It's a zero movement, and until that movement picks up and in whatever direction that is, because it is, as I say, stalling right in the middle there on the hour. It's stalling out after a down move on the daily, and it's kind of uppish on the 4 hour. So that's just the way it's looking for me. Not a trade in there. We're not trading that at all. Down to the 15 just to see if any of you scalpers have got anything that would be of interest. Again, no momentum, no difference in strength. The strengths are right together. Just no movement in either direction, and that's been the case since market open. Slightly down, you know. You've got a slight down channel here. As I say, there's your fair point, mate. But that, I would call that imbalance. There's your imbalance there after this week. A week? Is that a week? That's a week up there of 45 pips. What time was that? That was, yeah, somebody was talking about news last night. That's probably that. Was it a Trump tweet or something? Or news that the Iranians are considering or putting together an acceptance of the deal. Yeah, so that's probably that. And then it's just went sideways and slightly down, headed for this. Just as I was saying, this imbalance here, you've got your, it always tries to get it and doesn't do it, and then retests back up, and then it'll want to take it. So yeah, you've maybe got 8 pips, 8 pips to be safe, as we've got that slight downward strength and momentum into there. So yeah, I would, you know, what have we got? Take it to the middle of the 7 pips. I'm not interested in that. I'd maybe be interested once it gets here, as that's when we might start to see, is it going to push to continue to this support level here? Because that would be a kind of move to the downside, sort of giving us a little bit of direction. It is all sitting slightly to the downside on the hour on the 15, so could we have 20 pips from there if it sort of takes that, bounces and down, keep safe within this low here? Yeah, that's the direction my analysis is going in, that we could get a little drop down there. But after that, it's not. It might not go any further. But it's not moving. So leave it alone. That's what I say. Enjoy your Friday. Join us for Repo in 3 minutes. So what we'll do for the last 3 minutes, I'll see if there's any more messages that I haven't read. So I've only broken down Eurodollar. Apologies for my tardiness. I was hitting some good analysis the week before last, where I got like 5 charts down and still had half an hour left. But I've gone back to my rambling ways. Apologies. So, where were we up to in the chat? It should really tell me which ones I've clicked. Oh, alright, here we go. Right. Yeah, Rich was talking about my BBC. Yeah, I had my big black cursor. It was good. I am going to look at it. It will help all you guys, and I'm sure you guys would love to see it. Pulley is saying, your second favourite kind of BBC. I don't really watch much TV, to be honest, Pulley. If I do, I'm a kind of stream it after kind of guy, rather than watching it live and in the moment. Pulley's laughing at that comment. And I had to double chuckle at that comment. I know, Pulley. I know. I should really read these before. As did I, basking in my own ambience. Okay. What else have we got? Alright, gents, catch you later. So, Rich must be off to set up the poker night. Oh no, it's not poker night, it's repo night. Repo morning. Right, yeah, catch you later, Rich. Appreciated you joining us this morning. That was good of you. And MGN is going to have to rewatch everything. Just got back from a meeting. That's not acceptable, Sean. Expect your full attention when you're here on the stream this morning. No, I've got to do that a lot myself. Is jump in, say hello, go to work, do some stuff there, and then just pop in to say goodbye. But it's all appreciated. Every second that you guys are watching, it's helping the stream grow and be more widely shared. But we would like to see some new members in and new watchers. So if you are a first timer, drop a comment in the chat. But I've got to say, for now, we're coming up for 9 o'clock. It is time for me to head off. I have got lots to do today, and if I want to fit in a game of Repo, I will need to get a throat sweet, as I'm still struggling after the night before, morning after the night before. And they did have the stream on in the background, at least. Much appreciated. No, yeah, it's all good. Right, I'll catch you guys on the Discord over the course of the next 6 days, and I will be back on Thursday to stream. I think Will should be back during the week. We're expecting Sam back at some point too, as he's finished his exam diet now that it's got to the end of May. Evan's recovering well, and hopefully we'll be back too. So not sure what's happening, if they'll be back Tuesday or Wednesday, but Monday is a holiday. I don't know if we'll shift the boardroom broadcast, but click the notifications thing on YouTube and you'll get notified of the next stream and join us then. No, appreciated. Thanks, Pulley. Have a great day. Have a great weekend, guys, and I'll catch you next week. Peace out.